Dog shit! What is up, Browns Town? It's your boy Kodiak back with another video. Today I figured we would talk about where the Browns are at this point in the season and where I see them going forward for the rest of the year. Before we start talking about that, though, I want to talk about the story today that Mylest Garret got punched in the face by some random person or fan or something. The story I read was he was downtown Cleveland in the afternoon around 3 o'clock, and some fan or some person, a male, recognized who he was. Miles was in his car, and the guy asked Miles for a picture. So Miles rolled down his window. The guy came over, took a picture with him. And according to the story, the guy just punched Mylest Garret right in his face and then jumped in his car and sped off. And Mylest Garret got his license plate number, and they have found the guy. The police have. But that's just one of the wildest things I've ever heard. I'm sure there's more to it, but maybe not. Maybe the guy was just looking to get a rise out of Miles, see if he can get him a quick paycheck or something. I don't know. I just can't believe that somebody could just punch somebody in the face for no reason after just taking a picture with them. But there's some psychos out there, so it's for sure possible. So, getting into the season, John Dorsey had his press conference today. You know, if you get a chance, I would go on clevelandbrowns.com and check that out. Some of the key notes I took from it was they're not satisfied with being 2-4. They're aware of the situation they are in, but there's a lot of football left to be played. And he sounded pretty hopeful. He made points of needing more consistency out of the offensive line, especially Greg Robinson and Chris Hubbard, our two tackles. And he also said that he still feels the exact same way about Baker Mayfield as he did when he drafted him. You know, he said that Baker has done things to improve. He likes his toughness. He likes his, he likes the fact that guys in the locker room love him, that he thinks he throws a good ball. John Dorsey actually said that he doesn't understand why everybody's ragging on Baker's accuracy when he still thinks he throws a good ball. And if you watch one of my previous videos, I think I understand what he's saying. I mean, a lot of those interceptions hit our receivers' hands. So, are they perfect balls? No, but you can't expect perfect throws every time in the NFL. And those guys get paid a lot of money to catch difficult balls. I mean, if it was easy, then, like I said before, you and I could just go out there and do it. If we expected a perfect throw every time, and it's just pitch and catch, then what are these guys training for? What are they drafted for, etc.? So, I took a lot of good vibes still away from that press conference. He also said about Freddie Kitchens, he thinks Freddie's doing a good job, which I expect him to say that, whether he believes that or not. Now, there's a lot of people out there a lot of Browns fans want the Browns to fire Freddie Kitchens, and I just think that's a complete joke. I mean, how many times are we going to do this? Fire coaches. I mean, let's give the guy some time. I haven't thought Freddie has done anything too crazy to deserve being fired. Like, I don't think he's had a lot of missed clock management type things. Now, last week, I know he did there at the end of the first half where he continued to throw instead of just bleeding the clock out. But other than that, I thought he's used his timeouts well. I thought he's been aggressive towards the end of the half instead of just punting like it seems like every coach we've had in the past has. I feel like he's went after it. I think what makes it look so bad is we've turned the ball over. But if we're not turning the ball over, then I think his offense looks great. I mean, I think they found something last week against Seattle. I really do believe that. I felt like every drive we had the possibility to score a touchdown. Then the turnovers started happening. So if we can eliminate the turnovers and we can eliminate the stupid penalties, I think we'll be fine. I think this offense is finally starting to slowly find its identity, find out who they are and who they're going to be for the rest of the season. One quick thing about coaching. I want to say this because I haven't said it yet. There's a lot of Browns fans out there who like to say we should have kept Greg Williams as our head coach. And here's my response to that. Greg Williams is a fucking idiot. Okay? He is. I'm definitely glad the Browns didn't take him. Greg Williams is so cocky and thinks he's the man. And he's not. And I don't understand why Browns fans are so obsessed with him. Did you see our defense last year? Did you see our defense last year? We couldn't stop the run. We couldn't stop the fucking screen passes. He over blitzes too much. His defense was garbage. And then some say, well, maybe he's not a good defensive coordinator, but he was a good head coach. Well, do you think if he's head coach that he's not going to call his own defense? And that's stupid. Of course he would. And just because Greg Williams likes to scream and yell, that shit only lasts so long. You know, imagine going to work every day and you're getting screamed at every fucking day. You know, it might motivate you in the beginning, but eventually that's just going to wear thin. These are grown ass men in the NFL. They get paid a lot more than the coaches do. You think they're just going to take that? No, they'll lay down. Demarius Randall already came out and said if the Browns would have hired him, he would have demanded a trade immediately. When the Browns played the Jets this season, just listen. When the Browns played the Jets this season, no Browns players were interacting with Greg Williams pregame or after the game. He went straight to the locker room. Greg Williams did. That should tell you exactly what the team felt about Greg Williams. This happens all the time. Head coaches get fired in the middle of the season. Temporary head coach comes in, and they look great. One I can think of for sure is the Romeo Crennel in Kansas City. It was a while back. It was years ago. But he came in. Coach got fired. I can't remember who their coach was at the time. He comes in. They go on a run. They hire him full-time as head coach. And he turned out to be nothing. It happens all the time. It seems like when a coach gets fired, teams rally around each other. The players come closer together and they play better. But it's not sustainable. So the thought of Greg Williams as a head coach for the Browns, thinking he was the answer, is asinine. And just a stupid thought to begin with. And if you got problems with me saying that, that's fine. But it's the truth. There's a reason Greg Williams is not a head coach anymore. Okay? The dude has issues. And he called Denzel Ward out last year in the media about his tackling. If you got issues with his tackling, that's fine, but you don't call your players out in the media like that. Greg Williams is an attention seeker. So I'm glad the Browns didn't hire Greg Williams. That's my stance on that. Now, getting into the rest of the season, or where we're at, I feel like the offense has struggled. We all know that. It has struggled. The defense has been good at times and bad at times. This team right now is very inconsistent. They're up, then they're down. Up, then they're down. So I'm not really sure what we even have. I don't think any of us are. What do we have in a football team? I think I know what we have. I think we have a group of young guys who are going to grow together, and they love to play together, and they're going to figure this out. That's what I think. If you look at our schedule in the second half of the season, it softens up a little bit. Now, there's no gimmies in the NFL. Zero. But compared to the murder's row we've been on in the beginning of the season, it's definitely a lot lighter of a schedule. Excuse me. What I expect to see going forward for the rest of the season is I expect everybody to improve. With Baker, offensive line, the receivers, running back, the whole team, all 53. I expect to see dramatic improvement by the end of the season. And I expect to see little improvement each week. I think we are close. Now, a lot of people are going to think I'm stupid, but I think we have a good chance to beat New England. And why do I say that? Because in my opinion, New England has not looked like New England of the old. Now people say, what are you talking about? They're 6-0. They've played nobody. The best team they played is the Bills. And the Bills they got a really good defense this year. And they gave the Patriots fits. The Patriots defense is really good, but their offense has struggled this year. And I know the Patriots are great, and I'm not trying to put down the Patriots because that team is incredible what they've been able to do. But I do think they are beatable, and I think the Browns are going to be their toughest task to date. So when I think Cleveland goes to Foxborough, I think that's going to be the toughest team the Patriots have seen all season. Am I saying we're going to win? I don't know that for sure, but I think it's going to be a close game, a very close game. And I give us a 50% chance to win that game. And if we win that game, we could take off at that point. That could be a season turnaround game right there. That could turn the whole season around. Just if you could beat New England, that would just push our stock up. Definitely for sure. But if we don't beat New England, the key, I think, to the rest of our season is just sticking together as a team, sticking together as a fan base, realizing that we all got caught up in the hype. Even the most old school Browns fans that say, I knew we were gonna struggle at first. We got a young team. We all got caught up in the hype, including myself. In my head, I thought there's a chance we're gonna struggle. But how could you not get caught up in it? That's all people talked about was the Browns. When's the last time anybody talked about the Browns before this season? And this past off season? Blah, 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 can't say shit. Off season. Never. The first game of the year versus the Titans, CBS, literally, with Nate Burleson, Boomer Esiason, Bill Cowher, all them, they did a whole segment on the Browns. I've been waiting for years for them to even mention a Browns football game. They don't even predict the Browns scores a lot of times. And now the Browns are this darling team. So we all let our heads get big. We all got overhyped. But if we come back down to earth a little bit, I think we're going to be okay. I do. I still have a lot of hope for this season. I have a lot of faith. Now maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they just suck ass the rest of the season and heads are going to roll and everything else. But I'm still pretty confident, and I still feel pretty good about our chances of winning the AFC North. Let me know your opinions. Let me know where you feel the Browns are at right now. And let's talk about it. I think that's all I really got today. I want to try to keep this video a little shorter than my last one because it takes forever to load on YouTube, them longer videos. So hit that like button if you could. Subscribe if you could, please. If not, like I said, it's okay. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.